Hello, everyone. Hey, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Hello to everyone right now in the chat who's watching us live on Twitch. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can join us live on Twitch every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the live show. So if you are here in the present, hi. If you're watching this in the future, come back, travel back to the present and be with us. That metaphor has not worked every time I've tried to do it. But one day I'm going to get it right. So this is Apocalypse When, episode 3. Before we get started, and I let our wonderful cast of characters talk a little bit about themselves, which I know is what everyone really wants to hear. I want to talk to you a little bit about our sponsors here at Encounter Roleplay. The first one I will mention is Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the dice rolls that you will see happen today happen on Fantasy Grounds. We use that to roll all of our dice. It makes all of our lives so easy because you can pretty much tell it to do whatever you want and it will do it for you. It's wonderful. You can try it for free at fantasygrounds.com. It's fantasygrounds.com. Very cool. Try it out. Also, something I want to mention to everyone is miniatures. You love them. I love them. We all love them. You might think you have too many, but you don't. So you should go to Wayland Games at waylandgames.co.uk. They have a huge range of D&D minis, Warhammer minis, and all that good stuff that you can get for a good price. So go check them out as well, waylandgames.co.uk. And we also have our wonderful sponsor, Tabletop Loot. They have dice, all kinds of dice, incredible dice, wonderful dice that will help you play your games, and they're really awesome. Go check them out, Tabletop Loot. In addition to that, if you are watching this live in the chat, when we hit 20 retweets on our tweet about the show going live, we'll give away a set of dice to the chat. So do that because they're awesome. They're wonderful dice, and you always need more dice. We were talking about it earlier, and I stand by that. You can never have too many. Get some, retweet the tweet, and hopefully you can win a set today. And then finally, there are ways that you yourself can interact with today's game if you donate to us. You can give your wonderful cast of players here crit failures, crit successes, all kinds of surges and special effects that will help you interact directly with the game. So if you donate, we will incorporate those into the game as best we can. And then finally, if you see something today that you love, that you think is very funny, is very cool, and you would just love for everyone to watch it again and again and again, please clip it on Twitch for us. We love to see them. I love to watch those. That's like one of the highlights of my week, is just like watching clips that people send me from the different shows. And then we love to use those on Twitter and in highlight reels and things like that. So please do that for us. Let us know what you love so we can share it with you. And that is all of that stuff. So, like I said today, this is episode 3 of Apocalypse When, our Apocalypse World show. I am Savvy. I am your master of ceremonies. You can find me at Savvy Seaworth on pretty much anything, and also over on GGK at Game Nights on Twitch. Let's talk about our characters, because they're far more interesting.
I guess I will start because it's usually me. I swear I'll realize this sooner every time. I am Rob, or Bonus Stage Rob. I stream a bunch at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob when I'm not over here being a sweet little Italian boy. But today I'm being a sweet little Italian boy named Verullo. He is a medical apprentice from the Italian Renaissance. He was picked up by Sergeant Traeger and Maggie on a quest to save time itself. And we'll see how that goes. He is the Angel. He's a medic. He does medical stuff, and it sometimes works. That's about it. LB.
Hi, I'm LB.
I am playing Maggie Wells. She is an Irish hocus from the late Victorian era, London. We are currently in London, but about 100 years later, just under 100 years later. So this is going to be very interesting for her. She is our spoopy, mysterious character, and I'm excited to see how she handles all of this PDA and, nudity and stuff.
Ooh.
I'm I'm Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and I'll be playing Sergeant Traeger today. He's a bunker-born baby from the future, and he's the contact with our organization, ERA, and he does not look like an 80s person. He's very, very much not. But I figured I had this stuff, so I'd check it out today, Traeger's a gun lugger, and so he's prone to violent outbursts. So hopefully the rock concert will, provide him with some opportunities. But that's Traeger. Wrong way.
Yay! I am Christina Sid. You can find me at Greek Sid on the Twitters. Yes. I'm playing Carla. Carla's from 1960s Western United States, and she's the brainer of the group. So watch your heads.
And me without my helmet. Shit.
All right, everyone. Well, that is our cast of characters. To catch everyone up, where we last left off.
If you haven't seen this before, you really do need to catch up as to what the hell is happening right now.
It's a lot.
You all look incredible. There's been 2 episodes of the show, and just a lot has happened. So go watch it on YouTube, and then come back to us. I think you're going to enjoy it. So where we last left off, our heroes had previously found themselves in 1719 Miami during the end of the golden age of piracy. There were pirates and boat races, and boat engines were sabotaged. And it was all very, very exciting. Essentially what was happening was you all were chasing down some blueprints that definitely did not belong in 1719, as they were for motorized boat engines. So you were going to win a sort of Fast and Furious style pirate boat race, which is just very much my aesthetic, and I'm just now realizing. You were able to successfully sabotage those boats, win the race with little to no violence or stress. It was very well done. But as you went to claim your prize, the prize that you were going to, whether or not you were going to actually give it to Captain Rackham has yet to be seen, but because you encountered another one of these terrifying people in the scary gold twisted kind of demon looking masks and robes who approached you, very much acted like they knew who you were, and doing some weird, strange thing, clapped their hands and sent you all flying through time against your will. Where you have landed is on November 26th, 1986, in London, England, in the midst of the Slippery When Wet tour. Yeah. Not that any of you know what that is. Or your characters, I should say. Not that any of you have any idea what that is. With communications from ERA interrupted, you are able to gather a very, very small part of the message that they sent you, and I believe the only things I told you were able to pull out were the words "fix" and "Bon Jovi."
Danger. Bon Jovi. Fix it.
Danger, Will Robinson. But yes, so Danger, Bon Jovi and Fix are the words that were pulled out of that. And I think last we left off, we were clothes shopping.
Oh wait, we got to do character things.
In the 80s. Oh yeah, you're right. Every time I'm gonna forget that.
I'm wearing
I'm
Baroness.
Ambered.
That's cool.
A bad bird.
Thank you. Yeah, so that is where we left off. That's your little
Good
recap. Very quickly, somebody has a move they do at the beginning of the session, and I never remember which one of you it is. That's
Maggie.
right. For your following, as it were. So we will go ahead and do that, and then really quick we're going to highlight stats, and then we'll go clothes shopping. How does that sound?
Yay!
Sounds perfect.
Wonderful. All right. So while LB, while you're working on that roll, there it goes.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Let's see. So you
Yeah,
have
so
rolled.
my followers have surplus.
Good.
Ooh.
That sounds like a good thing for them to have. All right. I will. Sounds like a good word. I'll
You're
keep that
supposed to
in
know
mind.
this.
I'm in the process of pulling up the playbook.
That's
I
fine.
apologize. But yes. So for fortunes, they have surplus. Surplus is fine. All right. I got it. It's all. I have every single one of these rules memorized. I swear. All right. So,
No one could.
all right, so we'll keep that in mind for the session moving forward, and then really quickly, let's go ahead and highlight stats. Let's start with Verulo, because you're right next to me. Who has the highest history with Verulo?
So currently, Carla has the highest history of Verulo.
All right.
Yay.
So Carla and I will each highlight one of your stats for this session.
I will say, let's highlight Verulo's hot is.
Okay, I am going to highlight your cool.
Oh, good. Hot and cool are totally what Verulo is.
All right, well, let's go to Carla.
I'm in a 3-way tie with every single person.
Well. Somebody gets around.
3.
Okay. It's just
Damn.
never. I don't think this has ever come up before. All right, I'm gonna have you guys roll for it.
It would be Carla. It would be Carla.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody, everybody roll 2d6, and there's Maggie, and then everybody, the two who roll the highest will pick. All right. Well, Maggie rolled double 6s.
Never gonna happen again.
Maggie, you'll go first, and then Traeger.
I would say
You guys can highlight one
I
of
want
Carla's
to highlight
stats.
her weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And let's go with hard.
Yeah. All right.
See somebody get punched.
Awesome.
Or
all right.
just brain screamed. Either way.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds terrifying.
Maggie.
Traeger and Carla.
All right. I'll say. Let's do your weird. Yeah.
And cool.
Cool.
Super
Coolest.
Super cool.
And Traeger? Are you on this left?
It's Carla.
There's only 4 of you.
Carla, you're just so popular.
Carla?
I'm popular right now. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Let's go with our strengths today, folks. Let's do Traeger's hard. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And I'm
No,
gonna
not cool.
highlight.
Hard. Sorry, that's a terrible joke.
I am going to highlight you. Sharp.
All right. Oops.
I don't think we did sharp yet.
Yeah.
Spread it around. All right. Now that we have actually done some of the rules of the game, we'll get it. We'll get it. All right. So that is your friendly reminder that whenever you roll with a highlighted stat, you get to mark an XP. Whenever you fail a roll, you get to mark an XP. So make sure you're keeping track of those. And if any of you hit an improvement during the session, which you might, let me know. And be thinking about what you want your next improvement to be. All right, so you are dropped into London, November 1986. Hordes of people around preparing for whatever the Slippery When Wet tour happens to be. Lots of people walking around with these t-shirts on, these sort of screen printed t-shirts with people's faces on them. They say Slippery When Wet. There's a lot of dates and locations on the backs of said t-shirts.
And we were headed to buy them because Traeger had shouted out at someone at random in the crowd.
Oh, that's right.
So
They brought us to the merch table.
Cool costumes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You follow this friendly gentleman over to a merch table where you can acquire many different pieces of merchandise, all with these faces on them, and they all say Slippery and Wet. They all mention a Bon Jovi of some sort, so you can all acquire t-shirts and probably other pieces of clothing if you would like. If I assume Maggie's not wanting to wear a t-shirt over her entire dress get up.
Yeah, she'll maybe try to find a skirt if she can.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think you guys are kind of all lots of shops and things kind of around this part of town where you are, so fairly easy for you to acquire some more appropriate attire. So all in matching Slippery When Wet tour t-shirts and different versions of skirts, pants, that kind of thing. There are tons of people around. Lots to take in. Is there anything specifically any of you are wanting to do?
I don't like this. That's the wrong accent.
You are
Your communicating thing is doing weird things.
Maggie's very upset about the outfit that she is currently wearing. It's very floaty and she just looks very perturbed.
Breathe very well. Don't really offer much protection. Traeger,
I, for one, love them.
Is this your future? Everything is so
loud
big and loud.
We live mostly underground where I'm from, and well, the music's too slow. This is like putting me to sleep. It's rock music, but from the future, it's much.
I love that.
In the future, they inject music directly into their eyes.
Traeger, what year are you from?
Our calendar? It's, I don't know. He gives a date, I guess, that's not standard. It's I'm assuming at some point in the before we got to the time travel part, we lost track and started a new calendar. So it's probably like year 200 or 105.
Yeah.
105 AA after apocalypse.
Yeah.
I love that.
ERA reckoning, we could probably narrow it down to something, but I'll let Savvy tell us what year that would be.
Okay. I'll think about it.
All right.
Let me think about it for a minute.
Because I could have named it.
Yeah. We're trying to find this Bon Jovi type.
Well,
Well,
we're wearing their
do we know-
we're wearing their uniform.
Right.
I found it!
Is it a group? Is it a missionary type? Or maybe a militia,
Some kind of cult, maybe.
perhaps?
This music to lull you to sleep, so you'll listen to them.
I don't know if anyone could sleep during this, but Maggie's gonna
Can I
lean
put
over to the
yourself
person
into
who's
it?
selling. Yeah, Maggie's gonna lean over to the person who's selling the merchandise. Excuse me, who is this? What is this?
The shirt.
The Bon Jovi.
Oh. Are you not from here?
No, I'm from Ireland. I don't know.
We're from out
Oh,
of
to see
town.
Oh, do they not tour there? It's the band, love.
Oh,
like-
lovely!
Oh, they're bards.
Yes, that's the band. They play
Sure.
music. This
right.
is theirs. Oh, all right. Oh, it's lovely.
Okay.
Oh, I love
Well,
it.
yeah. So,
Interesting.
but yeah, it's the band and the the blonde one, the hot one. That's John Bon Jovi, and
Oh, that one there, there
yeah, that one there.
in the middle. Oh, yes, wonderful. All right.
And where could we find him if we're trying to locate this Bon Jovi type?
Well, the concert's tonight. That's.
Do you know where they are now?
Oh, I don't know, love. I mean, maybe rehearsing.
Could you point us in the direction of where they will be?
Sure, yeah, the theater's that way. And they'll sort of point you down. A long ways, there is this large sort of Colosseum-looking building, for those of you who just traveled to, I guess, ancient Greece, a couple of days ago. But they will give you a set of directions, kind of sending you essentially to the arena where the concert will take place.
Do we do you know whereabouts it is in London? What theater it is?
Oh,
I
I
just
do.
Okay. I just want to know
it
if
is-
Maggie would know the area at all.
Hold on. I had it pulled up.
Internet, tell me.
My page, internet. I looked this up earlier. London.
Because London's actually quite a large place.
It is at the. It was. I don't think it's called the Hammersmith Apollo anymore, but it was called the Hammersmith Apollo, which is in Hammersmith. I don't know where anything is. I've never been to England.
Oh yeah, way west side of London.
Over there.
Maggie probably wouldn't know that area at all. She's gonna lean into the group and just say, I was in Whitechapel, so I don't know this area at all. If you were relying on me for information on London. Sorry.
Well, you think maybe they have a map or something?
Well, you have
excuse
to go
me.
to a Matt Smith.
Could we buy a map from you?
Not from me, but I mean, there's an information desk down there. They can tell you everything you need.
Oh,
Wonderful.
wonderful.
Not only that, but all these other cultists are headed that way, so it's probably the right direction.
Right, well.
Towards the information desk.
Have fun.
Thank you again for the lovely garments. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so
Megan's
yeah,
gonna put her gloves back on because she feels really uncomfortable. T-shirts are not her thing.
yeah, I wouldn't imagine so. All right, so following Traeger's lead, Maggie pulling her gloves back on. You all make your way down a little ways down the road to a table that is set up under a little tent that has someone behind it that has been pointed out to you as the information table. You can acquire a map there, along with lots of other information about where to pick up tickets for the concert and all sorts of things like that.
Is that something we need to do ahead of time, is to get a ticket?
Probably.
Yes.
Where do we get tickets?
We can't get it when we go.
Well, you can try, but they'll probably be sold out. I imagine it's going to be hard to get them already, but if you make it to the theater now, they might, be holding some.
Oh,
Sounds good. Is this the map to get us there? He holds up a pamphlet.
No, but you can keep that, and she'll hand you kind of a little folded up kind of map of the area with some nice stuff marked on it, like areas of interest, and the information tent is marked on it. Very helpful. I'm gonna make this a nice, accessible concert.
Traeger looks at it. He's like, "This should be easy. There's no defenses, no laser trails."
Don't do any of your magics in front of the people.
I didn't do
We're
anything.
trying to
This
be-
is just how it is. Look at it.
Oh.
How do you fold it back up?
Well,
Oh,
there-
well,
just one.
even I don't know how to do that.
Traeger takes it and goes,
Oh,
puts it into a ball and hands it back to you. It's like, yeah, no laser turrets, no guard towers. Tickets. We don't need tickets. We'll get into this. He puts the thing in his pocket.
I think the woman behind the information table is kind of looking at whoever's near her that's not Traeger, and it's like, he started early, huh?
yeah.
Yes.
Always.
It's been a long day.
We just got in, so I don't understand. Started what?
Drinking.
Traeger comes
Oh.
back, comes back and puts a hand on your hand and a hand under your elbow. Kind of tries to lead Maggie away.
Alright. Maggie, highly uncomfortable, continues.
But he remembered his politeness training for the
Yes.
period as best he could.
Oh man.
Right, well, you all have fun. I hope you get tickets.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Sorry
you.
about your map.
Please don't touch
No
my
problem
elbow.
Don't touch your elbow. Is that Maggie said?
Please don't touch my exposed elbow.
He removed the hand. He did have combat gloves on in case he had to touch Carla, so he was semi-temporarily.
Always prepared.
Always wear protection.
Yep. Particularly around brainers.
Well played. Well played.
We would like to move towards the concert hall, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Totally a reasonable thing to do. So you all have your new clothes and your map and your whatever pamphlet it is that Traeger took that is about the concert that is coming up. Maybe it's like a program, essentially. Maybe it's telling you a little bit about the band and their opening act, things like that, as you all make your way towards this very large theater. So it takes a few minutes. You all will kind of walk that way, head that way. It is this very large, rounded on the front Colosseum-looking building. Part of it is white stone with columns. There are lots of people milling around the entrances and the glass doors that go into the building. You can see some officers who look to be kind of milling around the area, keeping an eye on what's going on, making sure no one is, drinking in the streets or anything like that.
And when Traeger sees the officers, he steps behind a tent and he begins to, collapse down his weapon into.
Okay. I was afraid that was going to go a different way.
Yeah, me too.
Starts like I said, pulling it apart so he can
Okay.
pack the bag. And he puts it in his duffel bag or his backpack, and then he slings the backpack around and he twists the straps so it becomes a duffel bag like he sees other people carrying. Because in '86, backpacks were pseudo a thing for little kids.
Yeah.
All right. So around behind a tent, Traeger breaking down the largest of the guns that you all know at this point. He keeps on his person, putting it into his convertible future duffel bag, and zipping it shut.
Okay.
So maybe we should buy these tickets. Just concerts that I've attended before. If they're very popular, it may sell out, as the lady said. So if we intend to get inside, to be the least conspicuous, at least. This might be fun.
All right. Where do we get those?
I'll leave it to you, yeah.
She said over there, correct? Yes. We'll go over there. We'll get some tickets.
How do you propose that we pay for these, however?
Same way we bought the shirts.
I didn't know if we had enough money, frankly.
Well,
It can't be
wouldn't
that
hurt.
expensive. Can't be that expensive.
It's just a concert.
Mm.
All right. So, worried whether or not you all have enough money to get by. Carla leading the way, it sounds like. Make your way up to one of the glass doors, head inside. There are on one of the walls several windows that are open with people standing behind them, and a few people kind of waiting in line to get up to the counter. And one of them has a big sign that says "Will call" over the top.
This seems about right.
All right. So you all awkwardly stand in line for a few
I know how to
minutes. Something you all can handle. Boy, I can't wait for the episode where the four of you have to go to the bank or something. So you wait in line for a few minutes, not very long. The four of you kind of standing around awkwardly. Traeger with double bag. Carla, when one of the windows opens up and somebody calls next, you can make your way up. She will let you know how much it will be for 4 tickets. While you are standing there, I don't know how much it would have been for 4 tickets, but I'm going to say you don't have that much money to buy tickets to a 1980s Bon Jovi concert the day of. So I think while you are...
much?
I think while this is happening, Maggie, I think you get this very subtle... I think it's probably not often that your followers initiate communication with you. Like, mostly they probably just kind of wait to be called. But I think you feel this... this brief kind of psychic connection with one of them. And they don't say anything, but you get this feeling from them of like happiness or gratitude. And somehow, some way, you're not entirely sure. Do you carry a purse or a coin bag or anything like that? Probably.
Yeah, like a clutch.
Suddenly I think there is kind of a tug on it. And if you open it up, there is far more money in there than there was before.
Maggie will tap Carla as she's like, money, I don't know. Will this do?
I believe so.
Did you have that on you the whole time?
Yes, of course
The money
she did.
or the
Now,
purse?
tickets?
The money.
Oh no, it's my friends have gifted me something.
Those are good friends.
Yes.
And she'll
Well-
pass the person along.
All
4
right.
tickets to the musical performance this evening. We're very excited. Big fans.
All right. Well, you're about going to be the last ones to get in, so good on you. She will print you 4 tickets and take your money, hand them over. Now, you also say you still have a kind of decent amount of the local currency left. We'll call that part of the surplus from your
Cool.
followers.
Nice.
It comes with dinner, correct?
I have no idea. I've never been to a concert like this.
So what? So we're just paying money to watch someone play.
I think so.
Where would you suggest we, get a little something to eat before the musical performance?
Oh, well, it sort of depends on what you want. I mean, if you want the full concert experience, there are lots of vendors outside selling stuff, carts, things like that. So, it's kind of fun.
Oh, okay.
Food cart.
Lovely.
Got
Food cart.
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
And inside at the show, we'll have a bar as well. So,
Oh, lovely.
Wonderful.
Nice.
As we're walking away, Maggie will lean over to Carla and just say, "Street food is for peasants, yes? Is that still the case?"
No, not really. Well, it's inexpensive, but it's fairly good.
Another time jumper buddy of mine has told me that we should be on the lookout for a taco truck. That's like the primo food cart of this era. So taco trucks.
What is
So
a
there are
taco?
different kinds
I have no idea.
of food trucks. Sounds convenient. Future got convenient.
I think so. 'Cause, I mean, we have to stand in lines in the bunker city, so just to get a meal.
I think one thing throughout time that might be quite universal is waiting in queue.
Not that convenient then.
Oh, I have someone make my food in my home, so I don't really wait.
Well, you know that sitting room we were in of yours?
Mm-hmm.
14 of us live in a room that size, where I'm from.
She places a hand on his shoulder. That's very unfortunate,
That's what
but doesn't
we're trying-
offer anything and walks away.
Yeah, he's like, that's what we're trying to stop. He just kind of fades away as she walks off.
Varilla will offer a reassuring pat on his massive tricep. Just, it's okay.
He looks at you and gives you kind of a thumbs up.
now it's just a quest to bring the taco trucks back.
Yeah, right.
All
I
right,
don't care about
so,
society.
tacos.
Fight the future,
Alright.
save the taco.
All right, so y'all will make your way outside, and not far off. I think you all see this kind of large cart. It's painted these very bright, kind of orange and green colors, and in large letters on the side, it says "Dan's Tubular Tacos."
He points at it.
Oh man.
It's not a truck.
You guys
but,
made me put a taco truck in here. This is the second time in a week that I've been running a game and there's been a food truck just sprung up. So here you go. Dan's
Stop. What have I told you
Tubular
about
Tacos.
GMing while hungry, Savvy? Jeez.
I'm not doing it. That's the thing. All right. So you all can acquire some tubular street tacos if you would like. There's also other vendors along there. Will be other food cart things that you could have.
Whatever.
They're quite delicious, and it's rather handy. You don't need utensils. You just eat it.
As she says that, Verulo's trying to use one of his maybe like his medical tools as a makeshift fork.
No. You're losing the experience, darling. Just take it, roll it. Again, it's tubular. It's in a tube. So you roll it and then you just that's it. That's all I have to do.
You eat it with your hands.
Well, yes.
Seems a little messy, but at the same time, negating the need for utensils, convenient. And he just kind of, he like, just, you ever seen somebody eat like a burrito or like something from the side like an idiot? Just like somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, has never seen a burrito in their life. Verulo
Like
kind
eats
of
it from the middle.
like a fist of it and just.
What have I done?
Traeger he gets the biggest, orneriest beef burrito that he can find, and he bites the end off it and spits the end down, and then goes, "You can eat the wrapper." And then he like tries to squeeze the stuff out of it, like tubes, tubes of whatever, and he's like, and then.
Soldier, you're losing the best parts, but to each their own.
To eat the whole tube. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Tubular.
I'm
Maggie
so
just
horrified
watches
right now.
Carla. She's gonna watch Carla and just do what Carla does.
Carla's very daintily, just like picking up the end of her taco.
Seen tacos? All right. I guess the real question is, does everyone, do you like them?
I feel
Absolutely.
like 1960s
Maggie
Carla
doesn't.
has been exposed to Mexican food at some point.
Elvie's vigorously shaking her head.
This is probably the tastiest thing Traeger has ever had, except for the tea he had at Maggie's house. Is that
All
what
right,
she
so- Traeger and Carla are having the time of their life. Verulo is making a horrible mess, and Maggie just wants to go home. I think is what I'm getting.
In the meantime, just Carla is just scanning the crowd to like maybe perhaps they will see this Bon Jovi person. So she's just like eating her taco, occasionally like looking down at her shirt for a reference and like scanning the crowd.
All right. So while you all are standing around, anybody who wants to, you all can roll plus. Let's see. I'll say plus sharp. This will essentially qualify as read a sitch, but to take a look around, see what you can see.
I don't think I have less sharp anything. Boot. Carla's not sharp. Not at all.
I forgot to add my modifier, so that'll actually be it's still pretty good.
All right.
11.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
So technically, 10 plus you can ask 3, 7 to 9 you can ask 1. So if
3.
Carla's getting distracted by hot guys in the crowd.
and tacos.
And tacos.
All right. So
if she drops some of the taco on her shirt, it like gets on Bon Jovi's face, and she's like, "Oh no! Oh!"
You'll
Poor
have
Bon
to look at
Jovi.
the rest of our shirts to figure it out.
All right. So anybody, let's see, whoever rolled the 3 or the partial successes, you all technically can ask 1 off the read a stitch table. Verulo, you could ask 3. If there is anything on there you want to ask, go for it. Otherwise, I can just tell you some things you see.
I don't want to metagame this, but where are people not allowed to be?
Okay. There are, from where you all are at, kind of around the front of the theater, you do see, like I said, some cops kind of milling around. They're not stopping anybody from going that way. When you start to get like around to the side of the building, you see less people. There are still people walking up and down the street, things like that, lots of people around, but less people sort of milling about staying over there. And there are very far down some roadblocks that are set up, and some ropes that are roping off maybe some doorways or some kind of loading dock or anything that would be around the side or the back of the building.
Okay.
You get the impression that's probably where people, the general population that is attending this event will not be going. That is from the outside. Inside, that might look a little differently.
Yeah. Who has questions? Ask your questions.
Yeah, if you guys don't have
Carla's
questions,
cleaning her shirt.
I'll just take some information if you'd be so kind, because I finally went up, so I'm picking a gun lugger move.
Great. Okay. That is wonderful. I would love to hear about it in just a moment. Does Verulo, do you have any questions off of the list, or are you just keeping it out?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we all already have kind of surmised where the best way in is. And I guess, can I amend that and say, like, is there somewhere that we can see that might lead to, like, where Bon Jovi would be? Or, like, any indication of that?
Sure. So if you're all kind of looking around, kind of wandering a little bit around the outside of the building, there are past some of these ropes that are blocking off parts of the building on the side and the back. There are what look to be kind of back entrances or stage doors. So you could make the assumption that if Bon Jovi is in the building, they are either, like you were told earlier, rehearsing, so they are either going to be kind of inside in that performance space, or they're going to be maybe through those stage doors somewhere preparing.
Okay. And then I guess kind of going off of, like, which enemy is the biggest threat, like, is there anything that we can see, like, any obvious sign of apotheosis, like, floating around and like anybody milling around looking suspicious?
There are a lot of people milling around. I think for a moment, you and Traeger both kind of surveying the area. I think Traeger especially, because that is kind of your MO.
It's his specialty, yeah.
So I think the two of you kind of keeping an eye out, looking around for the most part. At first, don't see anything because there are just so many people around. So many of them are dressed so similarly at this point, especially, a lot of people that are dressed very similarly to you. Some kind of in the fashions of the day, but a lot in these different t-shirts and jackets and things like that you can buy. Hats and things like that. But after a moment, I think the two of you kind of parsing through this crowd single in on one person that you see making their way through the crowd at first with everyone else, and very quickly kind of slipping in through one of those front doors that led to the ticket booths with their face painted. So not wearing a mask, but with this kind of gold metallic face paint in these swirling shapes around their eyes that is reminiscent of these gold masks that you are familiar with.
And they just went in the front entrance, like the normal entrance? Okay.
Yeah, so wearing the same kind of clothes that you are, but kind of with this this face paint across the top there of their face.
Did you see that, Verulo?
Yes. While it's not a mask, perhaps a mask would have stood out too much.
Where?
What did you see?
One of them apotheosis peeps.
Possibly. Trying to be in disguise, but still need to wear their ostentatious mask.
Point me in a direction, and I'll go get some information.
Right through front door.
Well, bouncing off of that, question number 3. It says which enemy is most vulnerable to me, but is there, like... Well, no, I guess that would still be the front entrance. Never mind. I was going to say, like, what's the most vulnerable point of attack? But I guess, yeah. Never mind. Yeah, I got nothing for my third question. I'll be honest.
Okay. Hold your third one.
Oh yeah.
Since you rolled so well, hold that third one. And then if something in the next situation comes up, you have one in your pocket.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you have the two of you have just seen this person go in through those front glass doors, just like so many other people have. What would you like to do?
Mm-hmm. Follow him?
Yes, please.
All right, so finishing your tacos, you all make your way through those glass doors again, the front of the building. The front of this building kind of stretches out a long way on both sides, and it's kind of rounded. So instead of kind of going just around straight corners, right, it kind of rounds out an arena, if you will. There are lots of these windows and people milling about in both sides, and long hallways on either side, and lots of people in Bon Jovi t-shirts.
Should we ask someone for directions? Do you think they'd have any idea?
Excuse me, did you see someone with some lovely face paint on just now?
Yeah, sure, why?
Where'd they go? They're a friend of mine.
Oh, well, and she'll just kind of point you in one direction. They're getting ready to open the doors soon for the opening act, so probably went to line up.
Oh, perfect. They're saving us a spot. Thank you so much. Let's go.
Right. All right,
Yeah,
so you
Alright.
so you'll make your way down through part of the arena, and you do see where people are starting to gather and group up at these doors that you can assume are going to be points of entry into the actual show. And as you get over there, you all kind of look around, and I think Verullo, after a moment, you kind of spot down farther on a set of stairs that is currently roped off on the front, a person with their back to you, but very quickly kind of climbing over that rope and making their way up the stairs.
Upstairs?
Yeah, so I'll relay that. I say I think that may have been them.
We move out, or at least Traeger starts going that way.
Okay, so you.
After Traeger.
All right, so the four of you start moving very quickly, kind of moving through the people that are lining up and waiting to get in. You make your way to these stairs. As you start to go up them, this person kind of cresting the top of the stairs. As you get there, making a left turn down a hallway of some sorts up on the second floor of this arena. As you start to climb up these stairs that are roped off, you hear a loud voice behind you going, "Hey! You're not allowed up there." You turn around and see a person in a black button-down shirt, black pants, with very large white letters that say "Security" over the pockets of one of their shirts. Right? Entrances are down here. Come on.
Does your shirt? Does all shirts say your occupation on it? Is that a thing?
And Traeger's pointing up the stairs
makes it easier
while
in
she's
crowds.
talking.
Right, come down, all of you.
Nope. You have to come to us. We are. And Traeger just starts walking up.
Do you
the
not
stairs.
speak English?
He just starts walking
All
up the
right.
stairs.
All right. And you can hear him kind of, all right, here we go. And he starts following you up the stairs. Sir, you can't be up here.
All right, and then I'll come down close to him, and then I'll look at my friends and
Maggie
punch
just
him in the
goes,
throat. Punch him in the throat, and make sure he doesn't have his walkie-talkie. Kind of hand that back to Verullo or somebody, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna proceed to knock him unconscious and take his clothes.
Okay.
We're in the middle of the stairs. Everyone can see.
You know us ripped off, and we're going up, and I figured this is as quiet as it was gonna get.
All right, I'm gonna have you roll to. I'm trying to decide if it's go aggro or sucker someone. I might be sucker someone because I'm not sure he's expecting to just get throat punched. So you're gonna roll plus hard.
All right.
Throat punch.
And we're treating it as going aggro, but depending on what you do, if you succeed, I'm gonna say you have suckered him to the point where he has no choice but to cave and do what you want.
All right.
Which is for him to be
Oh,
unconscious.
that's a D8. Sorry.
Whoop.
D6
I was like, that
there.
number's way too high for
Oh,
this game.
wow!
Alright, there's the modifier. 2 dice. There they are. 6s.
All right.
Ooh.
Is that a 10?
Woohoo!
There you go.
Excellent. All right.
All
So, fully catching this man off guard, Traeger, you one knock to the throat. He kind of doubles over in pain, but not a whole lot of sound is coming out. And then you grab a kind of a large walkie-talkie off his hip, hand it back over your shoulder to one of your horrified companions, and then hit him again, knock him out. He goes tumbling down the stairs in full view of hundreds of people at the bottom of the stairs, who are all horrified but don't really know what to do with you. So I think they're all just kind of like, oh my god, like looking, and there is like chattering amongst the crowds and everything. Someone kind of yells out like, hey, like someone help him.
The Traeger will run down the stairs and try to be like, he shouldn't have been drinking. We'll get him to the medic. And he starts picking him up. And he starts walking up the stairs.
Drinking on the job is unacceptable. Just unacceptable.
It's okay. I'm a doctor. I can help.
What is happening? I am going to Traeger. I'm going to have you roll to seduce or manipulate. I guess the other security guards that have kind of caught on to the fact that there was commotion and are coming your way. So you're kind of giving this out to them. I think.
Can we help?
Yes, so they the help move will not stack, so one other person can roll.
What
to
are we
help.
rolling?
So it is.
What are we? Wait, what's happening?
So someone is asking if they can roll to help Traeger to convince the security guards that are coming your way that he definitely didn't just punch this guy. He was drunk, and now he's helping him by taking him to a medic who I guess is upstairs. This is going to be very good. So one of you can roll to help. It is you will roll plus your history with that person. If you roll well, they will take a plus to their roll. If you don't, then it's bad. So
I can help him because I get a move that allows me to get a better advantage on helping people. I can roll plus sharp instead of roll history when I help somebody who's rolling.
Okay, so that tracks. So Traeger goes to say, oh yeah, he's been drinking and we're going to help him and take him to the medic, picks him up, and Verulo from behind him saying,
yes, I'm a medic.
Convincing them you're a doctor.
If this
I hold up like a little bit of like,
move.
I hold up my bag like.
Okay, so perfect. So Verulo, you will roll to help or interfere with someone, so you have your move that lets you roll something that is not history.
Yep, sharp.
Okay, so roll plus sharp.
Go ahead. Unreal.
What you got? 7. Okay, so then Traeger, very, very close. You will roll to seduce or manipulate someone, and you will get a +1 to whatever that roll is because Verulo is helping you. Pretty successfully overall.
Oh, 6 is the fail. I thought 7 was the fail.
You did -2, duder.
I am -2. It's seduce
so
or
it'd be
manipulate.
+2.
That's why
Okay,
I
so you-
got plus.
Oh no!
So you have a -2. So you
But then you add a
rolled.
+1.
So that'll be a total. What do you have? A 9 total for that roll. Very
Nine.
good. All right. So I think I would say out of 9, it is they'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance of what you are doing. And I think either you or Verulo can provide that.
Yeah, so
Since he's
I'll go
helping.
ahead and show them that I do in fact have a medical kit with a bunch of medical looking stuff in it.
Yeah, so I think with Rulo's help, Traeger, they kind of say okay. Not really wanting to mess with whatever that was. A little bit above security's pay grade. They will let you take this poor man who was just doing his job upstairs. And so do the rest of you follow?
Yes.
They don't stop you. Everyone's very confused by what's going on.
Maggie's gonna lean over to Carla. Maggie's gonna lean over to Carla. You know, I have a thing that I could do that I could just make them all have sex. If we wanted.
I mean, you could still do that if you'd like.
If it doesn't work out, though, they could attack us, and that might not be the best. You know, messing with people's minds.
What about it?
I'm just saying it could go wrong sometimes.
Oh, right, of course. Keep it for later? I mean, it might just be fun for later, I'm just saying, but...
Alright. We'll follow up the stairs.
A restroom or some kind of maintenance closet or any kind of a room that's not out in the public view.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I think you all, successfully carry your first victim of the day up the stairs. After he's still alive. He's breathing, Traeger, as far as you could tell. He did fall down a lot of stairs, but I think he's fine. There's no blood or anything, so you make your way a little bit down this kind of a narrower upper hallway, which is rounded, like following the over the front of the building. After a moment, you find a closet that is marked maintenance. It is open for you. You can open it. Are you leaving him in here?
Well, first I'm gonna put on his security stuff, so his shirt and his belt, and then I'll take the walkie-talkie thing, clip it on, and then I'll be like, this should give us better access.
Where did that
Good thinking, Soldier.
And I'll zip tie him and duct tape him mouth shut and leave him in the supply closet.
Okay, so trading your Bon Jovi t-shirt for a security uniform, a belt, and a walkie-talkie. You now have a security guard accompanying you. And you leave an unconscious man duct taped in a closet.
Do we know where the
It's another
the guy
Sunday,
went?
am I right?
Yeah, right.
By the time you make it up the stairs, after this kind of interaction, you do not see him. However, there is really no one up here, so you at least have a general direction and not a whole crowd of people to wade through.
Yeah.
Is there an obvious stage?
Not from where you are currently. There are some doors on the opposite side. That seem to lead kind of farther into this more circular building. So thinking of it as an arena, as you have been, probably that general direction is going to take you to the performance area. You also know a lot of people were lining up downstairs at some doors to go in that same direction to get into the performance.
Okay.
I've just had a brilliant idea, Soja. Now that you're dressed appropriately, we did this once with a girlfriend of mine at an Elvis concert. You should take us to the stage door and, we can say that we are meeting the performers.
Sounds like a plan. That's good thinking. All right, let's do that. And then he starts marching off.
Okay. So a couple of different ways you can go. There are a few doors kind of across from that maintenance closet. Opening them up, if you kind of peek into any of them, they seem to be kind of a balcony area. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze and then it kind of went away.
Oh no, that's the worst.
Wow,
terrible.
It's a long time.
Oh my gosh. Oh, allergies, sorry. So opening any of these doors while you're up here kind of peeking in, they seem to lead out to a balcony area. If you move in, you can see out into this large, probably larger than any of you have seen, I think, music venue. Down below, there is this large kind of open area. On one side, there is a stage with lots of, I mean, for some of you, lots of tech and metal and things that are set up that you have never seen before. But for your purposes as players, right, a very large stage, sound system kind of around the room, these stage lights above it, and a large banner at the back that does not say Bon Jovi. It does say Judas Priest.
Oh.
There's a priest performing.
There are priests to Judas? He betrayed Jesus. The future is dark.
How delicious.
Probably some cult to this Judas guy.
Right. Is this where they're performing? That stage is bigger than my whole city block.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Perhaps this is a very large church, like a cathedral?
I've
There's something like that.
Been to 2 cathedrals in my time.
Is the Shakespeare theater, is the Globe Theater still around? And she like suddenly like wait. Is it still around?
That's. I think, if I remember correctly, it burned down.
And Maggie's just like, oh no.
I could be wrong.
That was a stage.
A lot of history packed in there that I'm supposed to try to remember.
I think after a moment, because Maggie's having a really hard day, I think Traeger, it kind of comes back to you that it did burn down. It was rebuilt. This has probably happened over the course of history a couple of times. It's been knocked down, it's burned down, it's been moved several times, but they always rebuild it.
And then player knew that, but Traeger doesn't know that.
I think that's fair. Maggie's having a bad day, and I feel really bad about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think even in your time, there's probably like some semblance of like the globe. If anything is going to stick around.
You hold on to that nip of culture. I've only read the original Klingon, of course, but so Traeger will say, maybe these priests can get us to the other Jovi cultists. Why don't we interact with them first?
Jovi cultists.
And we'll try to open the door. Yes?
To where?
To the priests of Judas.
All right, so you all are currently kind of up in this balcony area. You can, Mr. Security, who you happen to have on this belt, I don't know, probably a ring that has a lot of keys on it, I would think. So on the kind of one end of this balcony, there is a door that is locked. Kind of key that unlocks it. It looks like it goes into some kind of back staircase that's going to lead you back down, but probably into some areas behind this large arena leading kind of around towards the stage that you previously would not have been able to access.
And he's playing a little bit with the zippy thing and the chain, like that's clever, you know. Why don't we do this?
So just kind of pulling the keys in and out for a little bit, making the sound.
Must you do that?
He lets go and they rattle and jingle and snap up. And he's like, I need that for my guns. And he just keeps walking.
Oh, lords.
Y'all are just an episode of Supernatural at this point. I don't know what to do with you anymore.
Perhaps it gives me strength. All right. So you make your way downstairs. Yeah.
All right, so we've gone up. We're going back down, these stairs off this side door. Not as nice or well lit or well kept as the stairs outside. You all kind of get the general impression that these are some back stairs, some service stairs. You make your way down and into these kind of concrete hallways that seem to be leading towards the general direction of a backstage, what you would think of,
Right.
or behind this stage area that you saw. Walking past, you do see a couple of other security people here and there. They just kind of nod at you, Traeger, assuming that you are where you're supposed to be and these people are supposed to be with you. And you kind of make your way around, eventually making it through a couple more doors, definitely one last one, one of these stage doors that is locked, and out into this hallway that has several rooms on it that seem to be dressing rooms, as if you've made it kind of behind the stage. So labeled dressing rooms. You can hear kind of laughing and voices, the occasional musical note coming out of them, maybe some vocal warm-ups here and there, the sound of a guitar, if you're familiar with that, coming from a couple of these rooms.
Not an electric guitar. So we just go in and ask for Mr. Jovi?
That sounds like the
Bon? What was his name?
John.
looks down.
John Bon Jovi.
Right.
I think that was it. All right, I'll open. Someone else talk,
Right.
and I open the door.
Carla.
Everyone looks at Carla. All right, so you pick a door and open it. It opens. You pick, I assume, one of the ones that has sound coming from behind it. The picking of a guitar a little bit. You open it, and you see a room, relatively small but furnished. There are a couple of couches. There are a couple of vanities on one side where there's lots of makeup and hair products and some things that I think Carla probably would recognize to an extent. The rest of you, I'm not. You've never seen hairspray before, I'm positive. But lots of products and aerosol bottles galore and bags and things like that. On one of the couches, there's two people in this room currently. One's sitting on a couch, kind of picking at a guitar. One's sitting on an ottoman, just kind of looking at him and listening to what he's playing, and they're kind of talking back and forth a little bit. You recognize two people from the t-shirts you're wearing. One of them with large, kind of blown out blonde hair, leather pants, probably. I think he did the leather pants at some point. They all did. And then one man with sort of longer, kind of brown hair. One of these is definitely John Bon Jovi. You don't know who any of the other people on the t-shirts are, but I'm sure some of you could figure it out. And so they both, as you walk in, kind of look up and see Traeger, and they kind of smile and then kind of look at each other, and one of them kind of calls back through a door that seems to be leading off to like a side room or a smaller room of this dressing room and says, Manny, I didn't think we were seeing VIPs before the show. And a third man in a suit comes out. He's kind of suit and tie, slicked back hair, just slimy looking in general. Whoever this Manny is kind of comes out and says, "It's all right, Johnny baby, I'll handle it. Can I help you?"
Hello. Yes. What was your name? I'll just sort of walk forward to this Manny person.
Manny. And you are?
Pleasure. My name is Carla, and I'll let him shake my hand and...
Yeah, and he reaches out to take your hand, and you do something to his brain.
Yes, I do.
sure.
Of course I do.
Right. What do you do to Manny?
We'll start with in-brain puppet strings.
Oh, man.
And Traeger
Everything you say
locks
is
the
so
door
scary.
and puts a heel against it, so no one can get in.
Okay. I think the two men on the couch are a little taken aback and concerned by the locking of the door, but also you look like a security man, so they're not really entirely sure what's going on here. All right, in-brain puppet strings. You are rolling plus
Yes.
weird.
Plus weird. Alright. Alright, so that's a plus a 2. Come on, weird. Ooh, okay, a 7. So
Okay.
on a 7 or a 9, I hold 1. So
Okay,
I can
so-
hold 1 for 1. Yes, I can do a command.
All right, so you can do one command. Would you like to do a command now?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like
What
to
would you like to command Manny?
I would like to command Manny to allow us to visit the band.
Okay, simple enough. So he shakes your hand and sort of lingers for just a minute, kind of looking at you, kind of eyes locked, and you can see just for a moment in him, you, Carla, that kind of glazed over look, and then you issue the command and it's gone. And he says, well, I guess welcome. Sorry, John. I
Thank you so much.
must have missed the VIP tickets for the day. That's my bad. That's my bad. So, everyone, Carla, John Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora.
Such a pleasure to meet you. We're such big fans.
All right, well, I think they are relaxing a little bit with Manny seeming like he knows what he's doing. And they both kind of say, nice to meet you. So, sit, hang out. What do you guys want to know?
Oh, how are you enjoying the city so far?
Oh, London's great. It's nice. It's fun. It's a nice change of pace from what we normally get. We were here, a couple of weeks ago, and we're glad to be back in the theater. So,
Where are you from?
you all, us? Oh, New Jersey.
America.
Is there another
How
one?
How long did it take you to get here?
Oh, I don't know. I slept for most of the flight, so not too bad though.
Flight?
Yes, they flew on an aeroplane. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Verullo is now remembering one of Da Vinci's flying machines that he had kind of drawn up, and he's like, "Oh my god, he's done it! Like he did it! He did it!"
Yes.
So, are you all from London, or you don't sound like you're from London, Miss Carla?
No, I'm actually from the Las Vegas area. Perhaps you've been through there.
Quite a few times I have, actually. Sin City.
Yes, it is.
How do you get along with the priests of Judas? Traeger says
They're
suddenly.
Yeah, Judas Priest. We're glad to have him back on the tour. They're great guys. They make good music. They rock pretty hard. So
They what?
they rock. Slam. Some pretty
Yeah, you just
gnarly,
like their Carla.
gnarly music.
Right.
Oh, I
so
get it. So you three are the big fans, and she's the convert, right?
We had to drag her along. Yes.
Right.
We'll put on a good show just for you, Miss.
Maggie, Miss Wells.
Well, Miss Maggie Wells. We're glad to have you.
Oh, so excited to be here.
So you haven't run into any other VIPs then? We thought we saw one other very distinctive face paint. They looked very excited to be here. They haven't stopped by?
It was gold.
No, haven't seen anybody like that. People do, all kinds of wild things for the shows, so we see all kinds of stuff, costumes, outfits, hair, especially. It's fun.
Speaking of, if I may ask, how do you get your hair to stand up so straight?
I'll show you my favorite brand of hairspray. And he kind of turns around and brings you this very large, aerosol bottle. I don't know what brand of hairspray Bon Jovi uses, but it's this very large.
What do you mean you don't know what brand of? I didn't realize I was playing with an amateur.
I might say it is the giant metallic blue bottles of Rave hairspray that I used for all of my years of show choir. It's that. Thanks, Rave. You kept my hair stuck in the same position for 4 days at a time. So he's just a metallic aerosol can with a cap on top and says, "This stuff. Well, let me tell you, you can get it anywhere. Dollar stores, drugstores, that kind of thing. Affordable, but quality."
Right.
Oh, this is in a tubular container, yes?
Yes!
It is pretty tubular. That's a good one. I like it.
Right. Are we? She's gonna not so secretively say to Traeger, "Are we going to tell him about this at all, or do we even know what we're doing?"
Our information was sketchy. I mean, I have no problem blurting it out and letting them know.
Have there been any issues so far with the venue, or any people who are trying to do not so nice things here?
And I think John and Richie, who I can't believe it's happening, are sitting there. They kind of look at each other. And I think Richie kind of pipes up and says, I mean, there's always weirdos around, I mean, weird stuff happens, creepy letters, threats, that kind of thing. And I think in that moment, John is kind of like, it's nothing, it's not a big deal. The show goes on. But I think Richie pipes up and says, a couple of weeks ago, we were here, same venue, and there were some weirdos outside the stage door, kind of. There's always somebody out there knocking, trying to get in. They're screaming, "John, John!" They all want to see Johnny Boy. But yes, some of them had their faces painted
with the gold.
Yeah, like a weird, almost kind of like a face.
Yeah, I would avoid that sort. They seem to be bad news, from what we've seen of them.
And I think John kind of is waving away, I've gotten weirder, trust me, than people in face paint. It's no big deal. If there are rumors going around, I'm sorry that you all have to deal with that, but it's fine. The venue's perfectly safe. The show's perfectly safe. We got lots of security. I mean, and if they're all built like your buddy there, I think we'll be all right.
I'll try to do my duty.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Are you sure? I mean, you feel safe, and she'll reach out and touch Bon Jovi. Yes.
Oh, brother.
Yep, I'm deep brain scanning
What is
Bon
it,
Jovi,
deepest
y'all.
What have I done?
was John Bon Jovi's deepest? No. Let me
What did you do
pull up-
today?
Let me
I
pull up
deep-brain scanned
Rita.
John Bon Jovi.
You goddamn right I did.
Okay.
Oh my god! I can't believe this is
Okay.
happening right now.
What do you roll? Weird. I don't know why I ask you if everything you do is weird.
Everything I
Yeah,
do.
Everything is
weird.
super weird.
Everything is super weird. It's all
Alright.
super weird. Oh my god. Okay, here we go.
Okay, rolled in deep brain scan John Bon Jovi.
Oh.
Oh, brother.
Is that
That's
even
deep.
possible?
Holy shit,
That
okay.
is deep, dude.
Dang. Okay. So you roll at 13, which is almost as high as you can possibly roll. So you hold 3 for a deep brain scan. You can spend those 1 for 1 to ask 3 questions. Because you rolled so well, if you have any similar questions that are maybe not on your list, but things that you really think you want to know, you could ask them.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Phoebus.
Wow. Okay, I'm trying to pull up the Rita person rules.
Judas Priest.
Woo, Judas Priest, that was a roll. Okay. There they are.
Can I
there
just
they
say
are.
I've
Okay.
never seen Judas Priest before? Like, I don't think I could pick them out. Like, I know they're music, but I don't think I've visually seen them ever.
You've probably heard their music. Brickin'
Yeah,
the
oh, yeah,
doll,
for
brickin'
sure.
the doll.
I've heard them. I purposely looked they looked like because Sid mentioned. I was like, I don't know what
Oh
they
yeah.
look like.
Hey, Al Aikens back in the day. Just saying. Whoo. Anyway,
All right, what do you want to know about Bon Jovi's brain?
what is Bon Jovi really feeling right now?
Bon Jovi is really
Sentence I didn't think I would hear.
No.
Bon Jovi is really feeling. He has a mix of emotions right now. He comes across as very kind of laid back, calm, kind of generally nice guy. He is feeling this kind of mix of emotions, a little bit of nerves, but like positive nerves, that kind of like butterflies in your stomach feeling right before a seasoned performer goes on stage. He is feeling a little bit there's a little bit of kind of frustration coming through that seems to be directed towards this Richie person, probably for bringing up the situation in the first place. But he seems to, if we're talking about what he feels about the conversation that's currently happening, seems to feel like exactly what he says. He doesn't think it's a big deal. He's kind of in a the show must go on kind of mentality.
Mhm.
Okay. How can I get John Bon Jovi to? I guess. How do I want to phrase this? No. Don't go there. Okay, no, never mind. I'll hold for now. Okay. I might throw them out in a second.
That's cool. So as the conversation goes, you kind of hold on to this connection sort of briefly. You'll hold for 2, and trade them in if you need to. So, as Carla kind of reaches out and lays a hand on Bon Jovi, I think he kind of looks at all of you and kind of pats your hand a little bit and just says like, it's really nice of you all to be concerned. And I hope Richie and I have sort of lived up to what you wanted us to be. But Judas Priest is on, so we've got to go get ready backstage. It's been a pleasure.
It's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much. No, we really appreciate it.
Right, so as VIPs, you will have those good close to the stage seats, and then we will have a quick one more meet and greet after the show, sign some autographs for you, take some pictures, that kind of thing. So we are really looking forward to it, and we hope you all enjoy the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, so you kind of pat Carla's hand one more time, and it's not like And
how can I get Bon Jovi to let us stay backstage for the show?
So hoping.
Oh golly.
How can you get Bon Jovi to let you stay backstage? I think if you, let's see. I don't know, not Bon Jovi.
Not Bon Jovi, okay?
Right now you are. You are.
WWJBG.
Bon
BJD.
Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
B.
What would Bon Jovi do? I think you get the feeling that it would not be very hard to convince him. The whole band is named after him. I think if you were to pitch it as like you're all avid concert goers and you have probably seen a lot of shows from a lot of different angles, but you've never been that close and you really want to kind of see everything up close and personal, and you are really, really hoping that you could introduce your friend Maggie to them in the best possible way, that he might go for it.
Done. Well, so sorry to bother you. I know it's very stressful and lots of things going on, but with our new friend here, if it's not too much to ask, we'll be completely out of your way, but could we perhaps have a behind-the-scenes look at the concert and maybe stay backstage? Would that be possible?
I think I think Bon Jovi really likes Carla. I mean,
who doesn't,
smiling.
right?
Right. He kind of looks at you. He looks at Maggie, and who very out of element right now. And then he kind of looks kind of back at Richie and like Manny in the other room and says, "I mean, it can't hurt, right?"
Of course.
And so Manny kind of nods, and Richie says, "Hey, whatever gets us the new fans, right?" And he kind of winks at you, Maggie. Okay, you know what? Oh, come with us. You're all gonna love this. So they get you kind of set up in one of the wings, one of the front wings of backstage, so you could still kind of look back at the stage, so you're not just like staring at the sides of their faces the whole time. And they set you up, and you kind of see the setup in between the bands happening. So Judas Priest's stuff kind of in the last stages of being moved off, their banner being dropped in a large kind of Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet banner being hung in the back. And after a moment, while you're all in this kind of wing, waiting with great anticipation for what is about to happen, Manny, after a few minutes, kind of comes up beside you and says, "All right, y'all are gonna love this, so hang tight." And as he says this, the lights in the theater all go down, and there is this huge swell of cheering from the crowd out, as you all can kind of see from your perspectives a little bit closer, the band kind of coming out and getting set up on stage. And after a moment, the cheering kind of dies down, and all in one moment, there is this loud sound that a lot of you have never heard before, of all of these lights, all these stage lights coming on, flooding the stage with this dramatic light, and you hear a cappella from the stage, "Shot through the heart, and you're to blame," and that song starts playing, to rock out to "You Give Love a Bad Name" as the concert begins, and it's loud and it's low, and I think really
Oh my god.
What?
I think as the music starts and the lights start going, the music starts playing really quickly. If you guys would like, we're going to take a quick bio break just for a couple of minutes, so we can refresh ourselves very, very quickly and see what is to come of this Bon Jovi concert. So thank you everybody for hanging with us. Listen to some Bon Jovi, and we will be right back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you so much. And we're back. I said in the middle of taking a sip of my drink. I am a consummate professional. All right, thank you everybody for sticking with us as we took our quick break, but we are back. So currently, all of you are backstage listening to... I just did it and I've already forgotten. Did I open with You Give Love a Bad Name?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So listening to the Bon Jovi song "You Give Love a Bad Name," it is loud. It is with all of these lights. It is quite warm back here where you are as well. The Bon Jovi boys on stage look like they're having the time of their lives. The crowd is loving it. You all can hear this huge crowd of people singing along to one of Bon Jovi's newest hits from their newest album, "Slippery When Wet," and. Is there anything you all are doing while you are backstage?
Traeger is on full alert. Oh, go ahead, Maggie.
Go ahead. No.
Oh. Traeger's on full alert, looking for snipers, attack dinosaurs, explosives. You know.
Are those a thing in the future?
I don't know. He doesn't say that out loud, so.
Okay.
I will,
but he does have a big three ripping scars across his skull and his face. So
life finds a way. I'll have Traeger. I'll go ahead and have you roll to read a sitch because I think for you this is a charged situation. While you are rolling, Maggie, what are you doing? She would like to. I think before the concert started, because once the concert started, she's like can't control her. Nothing is working in her brain because it's so fucking loud. And I think she would have mentioned to a couple of her followers to kind of keep an eye out for this gold person, this gold-faced person, and if they see them, protect the Mr. Bond, Mr. Jovi, and if he's not in danger, come get us. Okay. All right, so you are sending out a few of your followers to kind of patrol the area. Traeger, what did you roll? 10. Okay. Right. So on a 10 plus, you can, off of the read a sitch list, ask 3 of those questions.
Can you hit me with some of them? Because I would have to pull the book up to find those.
Sure, yeah. You have what's my best escape route, way in or way past? What enemy is most vulnerable to me? Which enemy is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my enemy's true position? Or who's in control here? And if you have variations on those that you'd rather ask, that's fine too.
True position of the enemy.
Okay, what is my enemy's true position? So I think simultaneously these come to you as Traeger. You are kind of scanning from your position up towards the balcony where you were looking before, kind of around what you can see of this hall. I think Maggie, at the same time, you feel this kind of psychic pull and this connection to your followers. They let you know, Maggie, that they have not just seen one of these people with the gold face paint. They have seen 6 of them. And I think if that information, especially with that information being shared, but Traeger, kind of with your training and your combat experience, kind of looking for if somebody was going to try to come in here to get Mr. Bon Jovi, those people being your enemies this time, there are about 6 different spots that they could possibly come from, 1 being each side of the stage, 2 being some entry points up in the balcony, and then 2 being 2 major entry points in the back of the theater on this ground floor. So if somebody was going to swarm in, that would be where they would probably come from. That would be your best strategic analysis, would be that would be the placement.
And then there's I think it was like the second one and the third one were both really good.
You have which enemy is most vulnerable to me?
Okay,
sound
nope,
like
not
one?
that one. The third one.
Let's see. Oh, which enemy is the biggest threat?
Yeah, I'll take that
Okay.
one.
I think if Maggie shares this information with you, that there are multiples of them, and you can make that assumption that it's probably not just the one guy coming in. Yeah. So Maggie is desperately trying to tell you there are 6 of them that have actually been spotted in this building. The ones that are going to be...
And Traeger's doing the doors. There, pointing the entrances out, the weak spots in the defense here.
All right, so Traeger and Maggie desperately trying to communicate this information to you over the music and the screaming. Let's see what which enemy is the biggest. Would be for Traeger. Which enemy is the biggest threat? Are going to be the 2 that can actually make it into the. If anyone can make it into the wings on the stage, you're probably going to have a problem.
All right, and there was I was looking at all the enemy questions. So is there?
Let's see. Which ones did we do?
Position.
Yeah, we did one of the true position. Which enemy is the biggest threat I have? Which enemy is the most vulnerable to me?
Who's in control here?
Let's do the control here. Thank you.
Okay. Who's in control here? I think the situation that you're currently in, you all are making this connection that you think these people are connected to Apotheosis at this point. So that's the easy answer. But in the situation that you all are currently in, between the people that you have met so far, it is pretty obvious from the the relationships between the band members and sort of the way that they behaved when they were with each other, that it seemed like while John Bon Jovi might be the front man, there is a lot of all of them in the way they interact, sort of looking to the other person you met, Richie Sambora, for kind of support and approval, I guess, to make sure that he is always kind of on board. Which you noticed when Carlo was sort of talking to him before he kind of okayed you all being backstage, then looked to his bandmate Richie for that approval. So in your current situation, that is going to be a control point.
Okay.
Maggie's waving her arms wildly.
Yeah, and then Traeger does like complicated hand signs to like tell you what he wants to do, and then when he realizes you don't understand, he's like, "You, Carla, over there to the other side of the wings. Barullo, me here. Watch band, watch door."
All right. I think you all get it after.
Yeah.
Carlo, were you asking something?
I was. Can I use my final hold about John Bon Jovi?
Sure.
Just so weird to say.
Yep. You're all welcome.
You're welcome, everyone. Can my question be, how is John Bon Jovi's mind and soul vulnerable?
Yeah, you can ask me that, sure. How is John Bon Jovi's mind and soul vulnerable?
Pressure.
John Bon Jovi, especially now, because I think you are still kind of holding on to a little bit of the vestiges of that connection that you made with him, and kind of delving in this one more time will end that hold that you had over him. But I think there has been this consistent through line through both like your conversations with him and also this hold that you have had over him for, I don't know, the past hour or so. I think it is for him, I think you see a vulnerability in him that he he is telling the truth when he says the show must go on, and when he says that they will do anything for their fans. And they like when he makes these comments about like, you know, oh, you brought this new fan to us, we'll make sure to, you know, put on a great show especially for you, and they have let you be backstage and all this stuff. So I think when it comes to the people that show him love and adoration, that puts him in a vulnerable spot because he is very trusting of those people.
Got it.
I'm making a lot of assumptions about John Bon Jovi.
I feel like he's not gonna ever know. So
No.
He'll be fine.
Hey, John, if you're out there,
If you're watching,
I love
We love you. You're amazing.
I love you. I'm a big fan. But yeah,
Huge
I saw
fan.
you in New
uh,
Jersey a
talented.
few years ago. It was good.
incredible.
Google
I,
search, put them here.
I would
Video on
peg
the
his,
West Wing. I'm just saying. Anyway.
yeah, I would peg his vulnerability. I think sits in his love for what he does and for doing it right for his fans.
cool.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna split up.
Split the party.
Is that
Oh,
correct?
yeah. Right.
Maggie's gonna tap Verolo on the chest, like she's going to yell, and very little comes out, and she's just gonna say, "Stay safe." Stay safe.
Tubular.
What?
Yes.
Stay safe.
All right.
I don't know.
So
If they know, I don't know if
Maggie
she would know what thumbs up is, but
You see Traeger do it all the time. So,
yeah.
you know.
Probably
Sure,
tracks.
sure.
All right, so we're all picking up the thumbs up as a universal gesture. So with that, Maggie and Carla, you split off from Traeger and Verulo to make your way out of this backstage area, kind of around to the other side. So you are now in the wings across from them, continuing to keep an eye out as this has been going on. Right, the music has been shifting, the concert continuing, and a few songs in, I think another very loud sort of guitar riff starts to pick up, like from the beginning of the concert, and the crowd, recognizing the music that is starting to play, sort of starts to cheer, and there's this renewed kind of vigor, as "Living on a Prayer" starts, and as you hear the song start and kind of pick up speed and get to that high chorus. I feel like we all know the song. I don't have to sing it or explain it that much. As they hit to the chorus of "Living on a Prayer" from the front of the stage, these large sort of jets of flame shoot up as the pyrotechnics start to go off, making quite a lot of noise and quite a lot of heat. And
Gorilla jumps behind Traeger.
Traeger is
and, yeah, the fire goes off. Traeger, no one but Verulo and Maggie seem super concerned about the fire that is happening, and seems to, after a moment, I think.
Is it apotheosis?
seems to be-
I think
The
we're
stage is on fire.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
All
It's
right.
okay. How is any of this okay?
And so as this happens a couple of times during this loud kind of climax of the song, of the chorus, and one more time towards the end of the chorus, the flames kind of light up in front of all of your eyes and go down, and the music continues to play, but as your eyes adjust back to not having fire right in front of them, you're all kind of looking out into the dark of the theater, and up in the balcony, which you saw was roped off earlier and is not currently being used for this concert. I think a couple of you see a couple of figures that are standing, out in the balcony. And Traeger, remembering those access points, you kind of scan to the back, and in the back next to the doors where there aren't really currently any fans because they're all kind of front and center in this large arena, you see a couple of figures appearing. And then, let's see. Maggie and Verulo, because you were hiding behind your friends from the fire. I think ducking terribly. We'll say because you two, I think, are in the more vulnerable position. The two of you at the same time, I think, feel a set of hand each grab you on the shoulders and start to pull you back away from the stage. And I think from across, right, Traeger especially, I think, and Carla too, can probably see behind your two friends, two more figures popping up in the stage lights, this gold paint kind of glinting across their faces. Your friends are being grabbed. What do you do?
Help, 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 help. Help.
So we saw the people across getting nabbed. Would we have like seen and or felt the person next to us getting nabbed?
I mean, I think they probably, it's very loud in here. I think they probably make some noise, especially Maggie, I think, being grabbed. So if your reaction to seeing somebody across the way, and that having Traeger obviously explaining these places that you should look out for, if your instinct is to kind of turn around, there is also one of these people right behind you.
So who is getting grabbed?
Verulo and Maggie.
Okay. Yeah. From opposite sides of the stage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. I think I would turn then, and can this sounds like an odd question, but can the person grabbing Maggie see me?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would like
they're aware that there is another person there.
Okay. Well, I have a thing where if they have to be able to see me, but I don't have to interact with them.
Okay. Yeah, I think you guys are relatively close together, right?
Okay. I'm gonna do a direct brain whisper projection.
What is that?
Basically, that's when I get to roll weird instead of aggro to essentially go aggro, and it's literally just causing them like psychic damage.
Okay. All right. So an attack, essentially.
Yes, but I get to go weird.
Awesome. Okay. So then you turn on them. All right. So you see, sort of realizing in that moment what is happening, Carla turning around just in time to see this gold glint in these hands kind of grab on to Maggie. You turn around, focusing your psychic energy on this person. So you'll roll to go aggro on someone. You can roll plus weird.
I rolled 2 5s, but it did not take. That's annoying.
Oh.
I rolled 2 5s originally. Fine.
Let's see. So we got 7 total. Not so bad. All right. So you are directly dealing damage to this person. All right. So let me see here. Combat. Woo!
Woo! Yeah!
All right. So you're going to turn around and kind of focus this psychic energy. Does it say how much harm the move does? Scrolling up to the...
Does it actually? It just says your victim has to be able to see you, but you don't have to interact. If your victim forces your hand, this counts as your brain, your mind counts as a weapon. There we go.
Okay. That will work. All right. 1
harm, AP, close, loud. Optional.
Okay. Yes, so this makes sense. So you, from Carla, I think Maggie, you see this blast kind of radiate out from her towards this person behind you. and he's rolling roll 7. It is not going to harm them, but it is going to kind of knock them off balance. So they, in catching themselves, let go of Maggie and are kind of knocked back behind her, but are still there close to you. What do the rest of you do?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You're the one being touched.
Oh, yeah, it's not good. It's a bad touch. So I guess from behind Traeger, did I get grabbed like around the body, like by the shoulders, pulled back?
Yeah, I think this person I think has sort of kind of grabbed you like this, like around your shoulders, and is trying to like drag you.
Yeah. So upon even being touched, like Verulo starts to panic, and it's just oh god, Traeger, and like trying his absolute best to shout above the noise, and just full on panicking.
Okay. I think from that immediately, Traeger, I think you also like noticing what is going on. Carla and Maggie starting to get their situation in hand, turning around, hearing Verulo screaming wildly from behind you. What do you do?
Am I within hand-to-hand range?
Were you guys standing right next to each other?
I was. I pictured myself kind of shrinking like right behind him.
When the fire.
So yeah, like as soon as the fire happened, I went right behind him.
Yeah. So then I think as soon as Verulo realizes someone there, he starts screaming. So yeah, you are close enough to be able to grab or punch or whatever whatever hand-to-hand you have.
Traeger uses his safety on his gun and goes bam and punches the guy with the barrel of the weapon.
Oh. Okay, so you're going to whack him. Go ahead and roll plus hard.
Okay. Oh, modifier first. Oh, modifier first. There it is. So 9.
All right, that was a 9. So I think realizing what is happening with Verulo's yelling, you kind of reach out with the gun and make contact across Verulo's shoulder with the person who's grabbing him. Again, not doing any kind of significant damage with that, but really catching him off guard, kind of knocking him back, letting go of Verulo. Maggie, what are you doing? You have just been let go. Your shoulders have been grabbed, and then they have subsequently been let go of very quickly.
As she looks at Carla, you can tell that she's kind of at her rope's end with all of the nonsense that's been going on, and her eyes, instead of flickering with that green, just like start glowing green. And she turns around, and she just shakes her head, and she's going to summon her cult behind her. And she's going to say,
"Oh no,
that was a poor choice." And then she's going to have them attack.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is, I think we're officially doing battle, everyone. So there's like more moves and stuff for this. We're fighting. This is all very exciting. So you are going to stick your cult of ghosts on this person. Do they have any harm stats or anything that they do? In your description?
Not in my description. They just have like surplus and like want, that sort of thing. But they are a small gang as far as like that sort of stuff.
Will work. So we're going
20 of them.
Yeah, that is a gang indeed. So they are, if they count as a small gang, they are definitely gonna hurt this one little person they're going after. So I think you all kind of see, two of you from across the stage and Carla with a front row seat, see this kind of green glow kind of form around Maggie, this like muted green as these spirits are popping up around her, and then all at once her eyes flare and they charge forward and swarm around this. I am gonna have you roll. I was gonna say hard, but I'm gonna say weird because it's ghosts. So go ahead and roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus weird, and we will see what kind of harm they can do.
It's a 9.
Okay, that is a 9. So we are in the moves that we haven't used yet. So I'm sorry for all the scrolling. All right, so I will call this. Let's see.
It says in here, against a single person, a small gang inflicts +1 harm and gets +1 armor. I don't know if that's helpful.
Right. It is, yes. So, so they're going to do the extra harm to this. So, yeah. So in combat, they're going to exchange harm, essentially, is how it rolled. So just seeing how well they were doing, but pretty well with that 9. So they kind of swarm around this person, and while this person kind of reaches in and takes out some kind of hand weapon that you can kind of vaguely see through these forms, kind of swipes at a couple of them kind of dissipate away as he swipes through them, but they are really kind of wailing and overwhelming this person. Not doing a lot of physical damage, especially because they're doing extra damage with their ghosts. So you can kind of see them after a moment just kind of crumple down, kind of in a heap on the floor as the ghosts kind of swarm around them, kind of keeping this person at bay for now. Wow, that's spooky. All right. So as this is going on, the 4 others that were out in the out sort of up in the balcony and out in the arena, anyone that looks out, you can kind of see them. There is a little bit of a golden glow that kind of emanates from this paint that they have on their face, and they all 4 start to rise up into the air just a little bit, and then the 2 that are on the floor kind of rising up over the crowd, definitely levitating, and start to move the 4 of them through the air towards the stage, towards Bon Jovi, making their way and sort of landing with a thud, the 4 of them almost in like synchronized movement on the edge of the stage, and start to make their way towards John Bon Jovi. What do the 4 of you do?
Carl's going out on stage. She's protecting this poor Bon Jovi at all costs.
And since Traeger has the trait not to be fucked with, he fights as a small gang all by himself.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh.
All right. So Carla, from either side of the stage, I think Carla and Traeger are sort of running out, making their way towards John Bon Jovi. What do either of you do? Are you attacking? Are you grabbing Bon Jovi? What are you guys doing once you make it out there?
Can I get in front of him? Get in front of Bon Jovi, like put my body between Bon Jovi and the cultists.
Okay, yeah. So Carla, you guys see Carla kind of make her way out and impose herself in between Bon Jovi and the cultist. I'm gonna have you roll to do something under fire.
Okay.
So you're gonna roll plus cool.
Oh boy.
Because this is I would say, a stressful situation.
This is fair. Carla has no chill though. All right, here we go. No chill whatsoever. All right. Well, I leveled up.
Wonderful. Charlie, you'll have to let us know what improvement you took. So take those good XP.
Help.
But on a miss, I think, Carla, you for an extended period of time today have had not only this like nice actual like conversation and emotional connection with John Bon Jovi, but also this psychic connection that you held onto for a longer period of time, I think, than you normally would. And I think you are finding yourself almost too connected to him. And so as you make your way towards him, this almost this like the fear kind of radiates off of him, and you can feel it, and I think it stalls you, and you kind of take that into yourself a little bit, and it takes a moment for you to clear your head, but you kind of stop and freeze a little bit, almost in fear, as if you are like reacting to his emotions that are kind of still hanging out in your head a little bit. So Carla has kind of stopped like halfway to Bon Jovi, kind of frozen with this terrified look on her face. Traeger.
So Traeger's eyes go, the pupils dilate. You see that. We then see in his chest, or actually we see his extra adrenal glands, both of them firing. And his heart has a Kevlar weave over it, and it starts pumping like it's going to burst. His veins all pop. He turns red. He gets bigger than he normally is. And he just kind of goes, ha, 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 time to rock and roll, motherfuckers. And he races forward, and he leaps into the air at these people. Like he's going to grab one and hang off them and kick another and just go ape, like amongst them.
All right, Traeger goes wild like you have never seen him before. All right, I am going to have you roll plus hard to go so aggro. Are you using any of your weapons, or are you just like punching dudes?
I guess machete.
Okay, sure.
Hand to hand.
All right, so Traeger goes into a full
Mother of
metal
God.
rock and roll rage and runs out onto the stage with a machete, and just starts slinging guys. Yeah. How much harm does your machete do? Holy crap!
Enough.
So,
Oh no.
so I have what is it called? Blood crazed. Whenever I inflict harm,
Sure.
I inflict one extra harm.
Okay.
A machete does 3 harm. It is handheld and it is messy. So 4
Okay,
harm
so-
altogether.
Jesus. That is a lot. So I am going to, I'm going to call this a seize by force, which it just feels like you are doing. So you can do a couple of things. Since you rolled a 10, you can choose 3 of the following 4 options. You inflict terrible harm, which gives you +1 harm. So your machete would be doing 5 harm. You suffer little harm because you are exchanging harm with them. So they're going to do a little bit to you, but so you can put a -1 on whatever they do to you. You take definite and undeniable control of the situation, and you impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy. You can have 3 of the 4 of those things.
I will take 1 and 3 and 4.
All right, so you're going to inflict terrible harm on them. So with that, you all see Carla in this moment of terror. You freeze. You see Traeger, the savior from the other side of the stage, kind of charging in, just buck wild, with a machete, slashing totally through 2 of these people that are on stage, like fully just cleaving them in half with a strength that I don't think any of you knew he had. You might have suspected, but that is one sharp machete, just cleaving through a couple of them, kind of blood going across the stage. Let's see. What are the other ones? Take definite and undeniable control of the situation. And impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy. So as this happens, the other 2 that are left on stage, as 2 of their comrades just drop with a blood spray kind of going across the front couple of rows of the audience and the stage lights and everything. The other 2 kind of stop, much like Carla did. And look to Traeger, look to that side of the stage where there is just a massacre of their friends happening. Look to the other side of the stage where Carla is standing and Maggie is standing not too far behind, getting one of their other friends with a cult of ghosts, and I think spin 180 and jump off the stage and start to take off through the crowd, out of the towards the back, sort of heading out of the arena. Verulo or Maggie?
Yeah. So what happened to the dude that Traeger beamed in the head with a barrel? Is he unconscious? Is he just hurt?
He is not. He's still back there. He was a little shaken, and but I think is now like regaining himself.
Okay.
And will be coming for you.
Okay. Yeah. I'd like to. If Verulo sees the bloodshed on stage and is terrified, but then I think he kind of snaps out of it for a second and sees the two people taking off. And he puts things together in his head, and he's like, wait a second. I can't let this guy escape. And he'll take out his end lance, which is basically just effectively a big knife, just medieval dagger.
Okay.
And I think he'll turn around and try to attack this dude with the hilt, like attempting not to kill him, but like enough to like hurt him and maybe work on subduing him.
Okay, so try to knock him unconscious.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll plus hard.
Okay, here I go. Old baby Varula doesn't get a modifier, poor fella. He's not very hard.
He's a soft
That's a
boy.
9? He's a soft
Soft
boy.
boy. Be alive, soft boy.
All right, so in the heat of battle, you will choose 2 from the Seize by Force list. So you can inflict terrible harm on him, so +1 harm. You can suffer little harm from him, -1 harm. Take definite and undeniable control of the situation, or impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy. 2 options are yours.
Sorry, I thought, is this under basic moves or no? Is this in battle?
No, it's under the battle moves.
Oh yeah, okay,
So
I
if
found
you
it.
have
Okay.
the Seize by Force.
So I get to choose 2. So I would like
Yes.
to inflict terrible harm, so that would be 3 harm to him total.
Okay.
And I would like to take definite and undeniable control of it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so you swing around with the hilt of this long knife and knock him right in the temple, I guess. And yeah, so you are able to knock into him probably a little harder than you meant to. I think in this moment of kind of fear and adrenaline, but with the extra harm that this does, I'll say, and taking just undeniable control of the situation, you are able to kind of clear your mind enough to hit right in the spot that you know, if you applied enough pressure there, will just knock him out cold. And I think you beam him right in the side of the head, and he kind of his head kind of cocks to one side, and he just falls forward on the ground in front of you. Unconscious.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of just like try to catch him so that his head doesn't smack against the. I'm trying not to do too much harm because we need this guy alive.
Sure, right, and he was fighting back.
God.
He was fighting back against you a little bit in that moment, as you kind of struggle for this and you beam him. So I think he gets in probably a couple of hits on you, and so you are gonna take 2 harm from those.
Okay.
Eek.
So you are gonna get you're gonna exchange a little bit of harm with him, but ultimately are able to take control of that situation and knock him out. Maybe you pull a muscle a little bit, catching him, putting him on the ground. Maggie
has seen what the microphone does, correct? It amplifies their voices.
I think you have a basic understanding of. You talk into it, it will be very loud.
Maggie is going to, seeing them jump off the stage, she will walk quickly over to, because Maggie doesn't really run, she'll walk quickly over to one of the microphones and say to the crowd, the men with the golden masks, they are trying to hurt your beloved Bon Jovi. Send them to me. And I'm going to use my frenzy.
Okay.
Yes.
which is it's my new move. I guess I should have asked, what's the definition of a mob?
I would
Bon Jovi
consider
concert?
a Bon Jovi concert in the 80s kind of a theoretical
Okay.
mob, especially when there is all of these wonderful special effects happening in front of them that I think at this point they probably assume are a part of the show.
Yeah.
So you
It's
speak the
easier
truth
that way.
to a mob. Yeah, it totally counts. You roll plus weird for that.
Yeah.
All right. What you
Okay.
got? A 9. Hold 1. So spend 1 for 1 to make the mob. What do you want to make the mob do?
Bring forward and deliver them.
Okay. So bring people forward and deliver them. The
All
first
right,
one
all
on
right.
the list. Incredible.
Amazing.
So I think all of this is happening. Verulo kind of taking a couple of hits and then knocking this guy out to take hostage. Traeger, just killing some folk, straight up.
Straight
and then
up
Carla,
what
I
he
think
does.
especially because you and Maggie have this connection as you kind of shake yourself out of whatever was happening. You hear Maggie's voice kind of boom out for the mob to protect Bon Jovi and bring these people who are trying to hurt him forward. You both hear this one moment of silence kind of fall over the crowd, and then this kind of swell again of voices as some commotion starts to happen in the crowd, and a few people are bringing these struggling people, you don't know who they are, but with this gold face paint across their face in the shape of this mask to the front, to the stage, and kind of lifting them up against their will and tossing them
Crowd
up
surf.
on stage to you, both Maggie and Carla being towards the front right at your feet. You have these two, because 2 are dead, 1's unconscious, 1 is being tormented by ghosts, so 2 left. What a day
Day in
y'all
the
have
life.
had.
Just
All
a
right, so
day in the life.
they toss them up on stage. We'll have one final quick reaction from y'all because we're running out of time for our session today. So Carla, as you
Touchy.
are up there, all right, you touch them.
I leveled up, so I now have Preternatural at will. What is it? What are the words?
Preternatural at will brain attunement.
Yes, so I have a
Yes,
plus 1 to
that
weird
thing.
now. So I'm
right.
at 3 weird. But I will go ahead and deep brain scan this mofo.
Okay, so you reach out and grab one of them. Roll your plus weird to do your deep brain scan.
Okay.
Yes!
That's a
Get it,
13.
bitch.
That is deep.
Wow.
Fucking deep, dude.
Okay, so with a 13, you are deep brain
Holy
scanning.
crap. Yes.
All right, so you hold plus 3. So you have your list of questions there. Obviously, if you want to manipulate any of them to an extent, that's fine. So 1 for 1, you can ask 3 questions about this particular brain.
This particular brain that I have in mind. This particular brain, let's see. Let me find. Come back to me in just a moment. Let me find this thing. All right.
Okay.
I need to find my list.
Can I have
while Carla is scanning, yes.
Can I have my ghost kill this guy?
Yeah. If you want.
I don't know.
I
don't know what the rules
especially
are on that.
I think because you were particularly fortunate this episode, I think that is probably going to give you a little bit of a stronger connection. Go ahead and roll plus weird for me. We'll see what kind of impact they can have. All right, a 7. So yeah, I think the longer this person is kind of exposed to the spirits, they are kind of channeling their connection with with you and with your patron, and you can sort of see he's not dead yet. There are some streams happening. He's not nicely dead. There is kind of this channeling through you to them to this person on the ground of like psychic energy, and you can kind of feel the almost like his brain is melting, but the kind of life force kind of draining out of him as they kind of like drain him psychically. So he'll probably be dead in a minute.
Okay. Before he dies, Maggie would like to say something to him, so just let me know when that is.
I've got my things. All right, what does this person intend to do?
What does this person intend to do?
What is doing, man? What is this? What are you doing?
This person intends to kidnap and possibly kill Bon Jovi, while one of America's favorite rockers of the 80s, while he is touring in London, blame it on Londoners, and cause an international incident.
Oh shit. Okay.
You're rolling really good.
I enjoy
The mission is simple.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right. How
I enjoy that it
can,
wasn't something political. It was just kill a guy that rocks really fucking hard.
Oh my god.
The United States loves Bon Jovi, okay?
They really do.
In this
That's
timeline.
accurate.
Okay, I'm a little blown away. In what ways is this person's mind and soul vulnerable? How can I, no, you know what? No, I'm gonna ask a weird one. Who's in charge of this person?
Who is in charge of this person?
Who runs this person's shit?
I think you get a kind of leveled answer for this, because I think there is a kind of flash in your mind of the actual apotheosis masks that the face paint is kind of mimicking, but I think there is also a connection this person has to Richie Sambora that you weren't expecting.
Who?
The bandmate.
A connection how?
You asked who was in charge of him, right?
Yes. Interesting. How can I get this person to tell me who is tell me who's freezing. Shit. Go on to someone else. I'll figure it out.
Maggie, you're killing a guy.
Yeah.
Killing a guy,
I think you are channeling this psychic energy through your followers who are particularly connected to you.
Yeah.
Right now, and so you can kind of feel the life energy draining out of this person in the wings. There is something you want to say to them?
Yeah, so she's going to walk over to the mob, and as she goes through them, they do part to let her get to this guy as they're like Moira sucking the juice out of him. She's going to bend down and like pick up his chin and just say, "Tell my lord that I miss him." And then she's going to give him a kiss and then let him go.
Okay. All right, so you say this to him and kiss him, and as you kiss him, I think you let him fall as the last of the life kind of expires, leaves his body, and the light leaves his eyes, and you lay him down gently enough on the stage floor. Verulo and Traeger, are you doing anything in this moment?
I think Verulo's gonna see maybe there's some like mic cables lying around, like some XLR cables or something, and he, not really knowing what they are, but seeing that they are similar enough to rope, is going to tie this man's, bind this man's hands and feet together, and just kind of make sure they don't go anywhere.
Okay, yeah, you can easily do that successfully, taking some cables that are laying around, unplugging them from their source, and kind of tying him up, making sure you've got one hostage on your side, and knowing that Carla has a couple of others. Yeah, Traeger.
How does this person know Richie Sambora? I'm sorry. Now I'm figuring out my phrasing.
How does this?
How do you know Richie Sambora? Tell me.
Who is it to you?
I think you get some flashes of memories from this person's mind, your deep brain scan, and there are flashes of these conversations with Richie Sambora present, without the rest of the band present, that are giving them orders, talking about how his masters will be pleased with them once they have completed their mission, things like that. And I think you can kind of piece together that it seems like he might have been involved in this and given these people some of these orders that they seem to be carrying out.
I will point to Richie Sambora. He is the Judas priest.
Madre mia.
Traeger, what are you doing?
Oh, when Carla says that and points, Traeger just thump leaps across and tackles Richie Sambora. Just boom, takes him down right to the stage.
That's what I figured. I don't think he's expecting it. I think I was gonna have you roll plus hard, but I think you can take Richie Sambora. No offense, Richie Sambora.
Richie, you're wonderful. We love you too.
I know you're a big fan, dude, but you know.
I'm sorry.
Well play, man.
Sorry, not sorry that I have done this to you. Mad respect. So yeah, I think Traeger very quickly at Carla's j'accuse at Ricky Sambora being the Judas priest makes his way across, just full on tackling him to the ground. And you have 4 prisoners. Now, this is not what I thought was going to happen. It is so much better than what I thought was going to happen.
Saving the world, baby.
One rock concert at a time.
So,
question. Do the cultist members have time travel stuff on them?
So if you take a look at any of them, so we've got 2 on the front of the stage, and oh yes, you've got a dead one. So I think if you search him very quickly, you will find kind of pulling there, because they're wearing these, they're wearing Bon Jovi attire, but sort of long sleeve shirts, black pants, that kind of thing, with the space paint across. I think pulling the sleeves back, the one that you have over there, Maggie, has a bracelet, I guess, for your intents and purposes, around his wrist. But there is a square, a display for it. It's an Apple Watch, but it has sort of a display on it that, if you touch it or interact with it at all, kind of glows. Almost the same kind of faint, kind of blue or blue-green color. You remember this from the cell that you encountered, that was keeping your general friend prisoner in Athens. So that same kind of glow emanates from it, and you can assume, based on what you know about the device that you have and everything, that this does not belong here. This is a little familiar to you for sure.
Okay. Maggie's gonna take it off of him.
Okay.
And probably yell out to the others, "They have devices on their wrists! Remove them before they disappear! Travel!"
Oh. And yeah, Varula will scurry over and search the person he tied up for his device.
Okay, yeah. So hearing that from Maggie Rulo, you find the same thing around this person's wrist. This kind of device that if you interact with it, kind of glows this pale blue.
So I'll go ahead and remove it.
Okay, so you all kind of go around taking these devices off of them and taking your prisoners off of the stage. I assume maybe to some dressing room.
Yeah.
And Bon Jovi
Is he okay?
is
Sure.
there. He's fine. You protected Bon Jovi extremely well, which was wonderful. He is kind of at this moment. You all kind of see Manager Manny coming from one side of the stage, as some security coming off, and this does not look like the venue security. These are probably the elite bodyguards. So kind of taking him off the stage and kind of towards the back where those dressing rooms and stuff were. So you all following them that general direction, kind of take your prisoners, leaving, I assume, the two dead ones on the stage.
They're fine. Yeah.
Unless you want to do something with them.
Did we search? I think we should search them for like other out of character. We should search them for other futuristic tech to get it out of there.
So I guess Traeger would grab the dead ones.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So and Traeger, I think it is still kind of in a.
Yeah.
You think he's kind of coming down a little bit, but still, I think quite riled up from the battle. Can probably carry several of these people. So taking your prisoners and your prey off the stage to the very excited, maybe a little confused kind of roar of the crowd that is still there. Not entirely sure what happened, but still, I think, kind of assuming that it was some sort of publicity stunt. You make your way off the stage and back into one of the dressing rooms. Traeger probably locking and blocking the door behind you. With two dead bodies, 4 prisoners, Bon Jovi, his manager, and some bodyguards. And
don't forget Richie.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want words with Richie.
And a very, very concerned and a little banged up Richie Sambora, who has been taken hostage by Sergeant Traeger. We will go ahead and end there.
Damn. Fantastic.
Amazing.
Holy
done,
shit.
Everybody, your creativity just never ceases to impress and amaze me. It's so fun. Very, very quickly, we will go through our end of session history stuff for the 4 of you, so we can see if you get some more XP. All right, so at the end of every session, we'll go around one at a time really quick. You will choose a character who knows you better than they used to. They can add a +1 history with you on their sheet. If you find yourself in a pickle and no one knows you better, you can choose someone who doesn't know you as well as you thought and subtract from their history with you. So, anybody know what they want? Anybody know who they want to call out?
Maggie got to see some fun stuff today, so I'd say Maggie knows me a little bit better.
Okay.
In-brain whispering.
Right.
Yeah.
Lots of brain whispering happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So Maggie, you can add +1 to your history with Carla. If any of your histories hit +4, you will add an experience and roll it back over to +1. The negative numbers are different. All right. Anybody else?
I think everybody kind of learned something about Maggie today.
Yeah.
And there is
If
a
anyone
caveat in here. If there's more than one, you guys can definitely talk about it amongst yourselves. You are also welcome to just choose someone at whim.
Well,
Yeah.
Traeger is impressed now because Maggie's actually killed, and he's seen the
Maggie
the
hasn't
ghost.
done anything. I don't
Well,
know.
okay, he assumes that the ghostly forms are from you because he's seen that, and assumes that the life sucked out of this dude is your doing, and so he was impressed with that. So knows you a little better.
Okay. All right. Well, then, Maggie, if that is good with you, then Traeger,
Yep.
you will mark +1 to your history with Maggie.
Which means we're at 0 finally for me.
Woo!
Working out of the hole with Maggie.
All right. All right. So Verulo and Traeger. Who knows you better, or doesn't know you as well as you thought they
Mine's
did?
tough because it's neither. Like I don't think somebody knows me less.
If
Part of me
anyone
wants
saw
to
you
give it
knock
to-
out that dude,
That's
Well,
true.
yeah, no, that's fair. Part of me wants to give it to Carla for showing me the glory of tacos.
Yes! Yes! Please!
Authentic London cuisine in Verulo's eyes.
Yeah.
I have 2 notes here. Tubular, he thinks describes anything in a tube shape, and tacos are from London.
Technically true.
Yes. I will
Yeah.
gladly take that,
Are
and I get
from
experience because I'm at +4 with you.
Choice. All right.
So, Carla, you will roll your history with Verulo
Yeah,
back
for
over to
the love
+1.
of God, I hope somebody clipped the Judas Priest comment. That was amazing.
Please.
Y'all.
Please.
You
That
gotta
was
find
fantastic.
it. I'm putting it in my notes Oh my gosh. All right. Traeger, I think you're the only one left. Who knows you better,
Who knows
Or-
me better?
or doesn't know you as well as you thought they did? Either are viable options.
Well, they all got to see me rage. So yeah. So yeah, I guess maybe okay, how Verulo, how did the rage and the slicing people in half scare you or make you go, "Oh shit. Okay, I feel better about this being tossed through time with this psycho protecting me"?
It bothered me less that it was in defense of people. When it happened in where the hell were we?
Rome,
Sparta.
Greece. Greece, yeah.
Yes. When it happened, it felt unnecessary. This was like, okay, that's brutal, but like, it was in defense. Like, it wasn't like you went out of the way to like kill people. So I was more inspired to act than I was. I mean, I was scared, but like inspired, scared.
Bonus rather than betrayal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right. So Verulo, you'll mark +1 to your history with Traeger. Did anyone
Heck
else
yeah.
roll over? Either. Well, you guys are all going positive. It's so nice. You're all just developing positive
Now we're-
relationships
we're
with each other.
going there. Hey, we work well together.
All
We do.
right. Well, thank you, everybody, so much for joining us for this. Whatever it was.
Whatever this was.
Oh,
It
hell
was
this was.
amazing. That's all that
I-
matters.
I enjoyed it immensely. I have so much fun running this game every week for you all. I'm so glad that. Thank you all for playing with me, and thank you everybody for watching. We will sign off really, really quick because we have a show coming on right after us.
Yes.
So I'll start. I am Savvy. I am at Savvy Seaworth on everything you can possibly think of, Twitter and Instagram. You can find me there. I also run and play in lots of games over on twitch.tv/game nights. That is game nights with 2 G's. Anna K. You can find us at GGK on Twitter. I run a Monster of the Week game, and it also has interdimensional travel, not time travel. So if you're into this, you'd probably like that. So you can come hang out with us there. And yeah, that's me, Rob.
She's got dimensional wanderlust.
Apparently.
Hello, I am Rob, or bonus stage Rob if you're feeling formal. I stream over on twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob, where I play a variety of games. The Witcher, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers with viewers and stuff. It's a good time. So, if you're feeling bored, come on over when you're not watching ERP. And you can find me at Twitter at bonus stage Rob and bonus stage Rob at all the things. So, LB.
Hi, I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on Twitter. I have started streaming these little duders so I can watch them at work. Yes.
Hell yeah.
So there's low hip hop music or something in the back. I don't know. But basically, I just use it to watch them. But you can find me Mondays and Tuesdays on Indoor Adventures channel. On Wednesdays, I'm on Damn It Berries channel. I have my whole schedule up on Twitter. Directly after this, you can find me on Pro Research channel, playing a really spoopy character, a Medusa that is mad, that's her thing. And we're in kind of a precarious situation, so it'll be interesting to hop back into that after this.
More like Mad Dude, right?
Yeah.
Ew.
Jimmy, go!
Jimmy, go quick!
I'm Graybeard of Graybeard Tavern. Check out my Twitter. I just hit 2,000 followers, so I'm happy with that. My schedule is all over there. Come visit me throughout the week. I'm also in Ghosts of Saltmarsh on Wednesday with more guns, and I love toys. So, get on with it and come see me.
Yay!
Carla.
I'm Christina.
Carla.
I'm Carla, Christina Sid, Grace Sid on Twitter. You can find me here. You can find me every other Tuesday. We're not on Tuesday Prime, sad. But next Tuesday over on Femslave Cast, 10 o'clock Eastern. It's Neverland, but D&D. It's awesome. I play a halfling cook. It's amazing. So come check that out. And then I will be jumping back into our old Temple of Elemental Evil game. It'll be coming up on Saber's channel real soon, so check my Twitter for that. Yay!
All right, follow all of these fools on all of the social media because they are all creative and wonderful. Watch all this stuff, and we will be back a week from today. You can catch us on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time to see just what is going to happen to Richie Sambora.
We're coming for you, Richie. I'm coming for you, Richie.
Some stuff's going to happen to Richie Sambora.
I was here.
And you're not going to want to miss it. So thank you, the four of you, for playing with me on this mad journey that we're taking. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And we will see you in a week.
Yay!
Bye, everybody.
Bye.